Hi guys, I'm Shan, and I make weekly posts of beautiful crafts, just like the ones you see right here. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the bell so you'll be notified each time I post. For my first craft, I'm upcycling two Dollar Tree planters and two white Christmas trees. I'm placing each tree inside of the white styrofoam that comes from Dollar Tree to help it stay steady. And then I'm separating the branches and making sure they're facing upwards. Now you're going to do the same thing to both trees. Just place them inside that planter and make sure those branches are facing upward. Once you have your branches separated the way you want it, I'm going to take some rocks from Dollar Tree and place them into the planter just to make sure that it stays steady and it doesn't tip over, because I'm going to be adding a lot of decorations and ornaments to it, and I just want to make sure that it stays in place, and when I put it on my countertop it does the same. Alright, now let's take a plaid ribbon. I got this ribbon from Dollar General. I thought it was so pretty. I believe it came in a pack of 6 for only $2. So I did so many crafts with this ribbon. I was trying to decide how I wanted to decorate my trees, and I decided to go with holly berries as the ornaments. And at first I was going to place them in bunches of about 4 to 5, but I decided I just wanted to put them up and 1 or 2 so that it looks like it's just little ornaments attached to the tree. So you're going to take your scissors and separate the holly berries out, and then get your hot glue gun and attach them to the tree. It takes time to go all around the tree and put them up, and if you're only going to add them in one at a time. But I think that it works out best. I love how it looks this way. I just put them up in 1s or 2s. And since I'm not decorating the back of the tree, I'm going to save time that way. Now, if you want to decorate the back of the tree, feel free to do that. But since my tree is going to be facing the back of a wall, there's no point of me decorating it. And magically, both of my trees have holly berries. But I decided I wanted to be a little bit extra, because that's why I love my decor, and add more holly berries to make the tree look fuller. I just thought it'll look even prettier that way. And since I had enough holly berries to spare, I figured, why not? So I'm just hot gluing the holly berries on, making sure they look about even on both trees. They don't have to be even. I just kind of wanted to make sure they looked very similar. I was starting to think that I had my trees all hollied up enough. So I figured I would move on to the next part of this craft, and they look perfect that way. So I'm taking some ribbon that I purchased from Dollar General. This ribbon was $2. So I'm taking my ribbon and measuring it around the back to make sure that it goes all the way across, and then I cut the piece off where they connected. And I'm going to take my hot glue gun and put a little glue on the end of the ribbon and attach it to the planter. Once I have it lined up the way I want it, I'm going to take that hot glue gun and put some glue on the end of the other side and just push it in to make sure that it stays secure. Now I'm just going around my ribbon and making sure that it's laying flat onto the planter. I'm adding a little bit of hot glue and pressing it in where it needs to be pressed in. In the back, I decided to kind of pull it tight a little bit and then kind of fold it You're gonna see in a minute, you're gonna see me do that. See, it was still kind of loose, so I just grabbed a little bit and kind of pulled it and folded it. I should have zoomed in so you guys can actually see what I'm talking about. I hope you understand. And I just repeated the same process to the other planter. Just go in, measure your ribbon out, cut it to where it needs to be, place hot glue on there, get it nice and secure, and then go around and make sure it lays flat on that planter. Now that we're done with that part, I decided to add some red truck printables to the front of my planters. Now all you have to do is go online, find some printables that you like, print them out, and just attach them to whatever craft that you're doing. I thought that these red truck printables were so cute and they would be perfect for my DIY project. And once I have them all printed out, I figure out how I want to attach them to the front. And I'm taking some Mod Podge and adding some to the back of my finger because I didn't have my paintbrush at hand. And I remembered where my paintbrush was. I took it and I added some more Mod Podge to it to put on the front of my planter. Now once I have enough Mod Podge on the front, I'm just going to place it to the side and let it dry and take my second Christmas tree and take my printable, put some Mod Podge on the back of it, and then attach it to the planter. We just following the same process that we did for the previous tree. Now that it's all Mod Podged up, these trees are all done and they turned out so beautiful. I love them so much. Alright, let's get into our second DIY. I'm taking a white microfiber car cleaner from the car section, and I'm taking 2 gift boxes from Dollar Tree, one smaller than the other one. And I'm just trying to figure out how I want to measure the box out onto the microfiber so that I can cut it so that it will fit completely around it. So I just decided to make little marks in certain places as I move the box from one side to the other. Okay, and once I was sure I had the microfiber marked the way that I wanted, I took my scissors and I went through and I cut that piece off. And I'm just going to take my box and roll it around until I get all ends covered on the side. And once I do, I'm going to cut it where that stops. I'm going to take my box and roll it back around, and where the 2 ends meet, I'm going to take some hot glue and glue it down. Now in hindsight, I should have cut a little bit more off of there so that it would lay flat and it wouldn't overlap, but that's okay. I'm just gonna put that side, place it in the wall so no one will see it. Alright, once we have that hot glue down, I'm gonna go through with my hot glue gun and hot glue the top and the bottom portion. I just took the hot glue gun, placed it on the side, and then pushed the fabric over the edges of the back. I decided I'm not going to actually put a piece on the back because it's going to be facing downward. If that bothers you because you feel like the craft is completely done, you can do that. But sometimes with my crafts, if I know no one's going to see it, it doesn't bother me. And I'm going to flip the box over and do the exact same thing for the top portion. And you can pull that microfiber cloth upwards so that it is completely covering the top part. Add your glue and then secure it. Just make sure your box is completely covered. Now, I think this white microfiber is so pretty. And I know it's going to make a beautiful DIY gift box to sit on my mantle. Well, I haven't decided quite if it's going to be on my mantle or the fireplace, the bottom of the fireplace. We'll see. All right, now let's measure out another piece to go over the top. Alright, once we have that cut off, we're going to place it over the top. I was saying that I probably should have used a marker to mark it off. That would have saved me a little bit of time, but that's alright. I'm going to add my hot glue gun and place it down. Make sure it's nice and secure. I'm kind of smushing each and the ends together, if that makes sense. The ends from the side and the ends from the top of the box. I was starting to run low on hot glue, so I had this bright idea to stick a color pencil in to push the rest of the glue stick downward, but that's okay because I have E6000 glue and that works just as well. It just takes a little bit longer to dry. So I'm taking my E6000 and just placing it on the sides and smushing the side of the top with the side of the bottom to make sure that it's nice and secure. And now for the plaid ribbon that we used earlier from Dollar General. I'm going to take that ribbon and I'm going to measure it so that it goes around the side and just to the bottom of the box. Now where those two ends meet the bottom of the box, I'm going to take me some E6000 glue and glue that end down. Alright, and we're just going to take a strip and do the exact same thing to the other side. I'm taking it and make sure that it fits perfectly. I'm taking that E6000 glue and just pressing it down right on the bottom. Alright, it looks so pretty how it is, right guys? But of course I want to add a little bit extra, and I was trying to decide how exactly I wanted to decorate the top. I thought maybe I would use that Dollar General ribbon, but I wasn't quite so sure about that. I was trying to figure out how I was going to put the pieces together. But in the end, I decided to use these white holly berries and these pine cones. I thought that looked so pretty together. I got the white holly berry pick from Dollar Tree, So I just pulled it apart and kind of tried to figure out how I wanted to arrange it. I'm still trying to use that plaid bow. That was not working out for me. And since I ran out of hot glue, I was really trying, y'all. But that was not working. So I had to try to figure out another way to attach my flower picks. And I had some phone mounting paper, and so I figured, why not use this? And I believe I also got this from Dollar Tree, and it worked perfectly. I just pulled the paper off one side and attached it to the present box, and then I pulled it off the other side so that I can attach my picks. And it actually worked really well at securing it on. I was surprised. I think I'm going to use this a lot more. I'm just going through and figuring out how I want to put those picks on there. And I'm loving this placement that I have. Still trying to use that Plaid bow, girl. Give it up. All right. I finally decided on what I have right here, and it looks so pretty. I love it. Yes. All right. And so now that we're done with the big box, it's time to get on to the small box. So we're going to put that to the side and take out all of our supplies again so we can get ready to start on the smaller box. Alright, so I'm going to take that bow that I kept trying to use earlier and just open it up so that I can use it as the plaid portion on the small box. And I'm taking that same strip of microfiber cloth and I'm measuring how I want my small box to be covered on the side. I just took it and kind of flipped it over 4 times, and where it stops, I cut upward and then cut over to the side. Alright, I'm not the best person at cutting things, I will admit. So one side was a little bit thinner than the other one, but we were still gonna make it work. So I'm taking what's a little bit left of my hot glue gun and trying to attach that. But it's barely anything in there. So I know eventually I'm gonna have to take out that E6000 and start back getting to work. I'm still making that glue gun work, y'all. And I'm taking it and doing the exact same thing that I did with the bigger box. I am pressing down on the sides. And that's going to be my back, and then I'm pressing down on the sides of what's going to be the top part of my box. Just to make sure that that white microfiber covers the complete gift box. Alright, now that we got that done, I'm taking the piece that was left and I'm cutting it so that it will fit on top of my smaller gift box. Once I'm content to how my piece is, and I make sure that it's completely shaped to the top of the box, I'm taking that hot glue gun, which I ran out of glue, of course. And now I'm taking my E6000 and I'm just dabbing some on across the front and across the sides, around the corners, and I'm taking that top piece and I'm just molding it to the top of the box. I'm going through and making sure I get all those sides pressed down. We definitely don't want that coming up. Now let's take our little ribbon and measure it out to how it will go across the back. Just make sure it's enough to cover. And I'm cutting that little piece off. You know, I'll probably use that later in another DIY. Alright, once we have that piece done, we're going to take our other ribbon and wrap it around the same way we did the other piece, and then cut off that excess. Alright, once that's nice and secure, we're going to flip it over, and then we're going to pull out another one of those Dollar Tree flower pieces. I was trying to figure out which pine cone would be perfect for this piece since it is a little box. I wanted to choose the smaller pine cone. And then those white flower pieces were so pretty, but they were too big. And then this little greenery was also too big. So I decided to pull it so that it'll be half of it on one end and half of it on the other, so that it will match the bigger box. And then use my molding strips to secure it to the gift box. I figured out which pine cone I wanted to use and used a molding strip to secure that. And I cut my white flower picks in half so that it wouldn't be too much hanging off the end. And I'm just arranging things so that it'll fit perfectly, and making sure that it matches the other piece. I had to use a little bit of E6000 on that. And look, it matches perfectly. And they're both so beautiful. I love these things, guys. I really hope you enjoyed these two DIYs. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.